this past weekend, the Lake Forest men's hockey team was swept for the first time all season, falling 6-3 to Adrian on Friday and then 3-0 against Trine on Saturday night. The Foresters have already clinched a spot into the NCHA Harris Cup playoffs, but their seeding will be determined this weekend. A win or a tie in a two-game series against Aurora would give them home ice for the first round of playoffs. I'm Cam McGuire, the voice of Forester Hockey, and head coach Pat Keller joins me next on this week's episode of Inside Forester Hockey. Last weekend, you guys were swept for the first time all season long. Bright spot, Aaron O'Neill had a hat trick on Friday night, and it was a natural hat trick.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really interesting first period. Obviously, getting that goal, 10 seconds into the game, and then Aaron having two more. I mean, I don't think that we had maybe the better of the play in the first, but to head into first intermission up 3-2, obviously hoping to come out and have a little bit. Maybe better effort in the second period, but yeah, I mean, it was a tough weekend overall, and I think obviously Adrian's a good team, especially on home ice, and I'm sure they want a little payback for earlier in the season, coming here and losing 6-0, but and then on Saturday it was it was kind of one of those games where I think Trine obviously had their season on the line, and they played really hard, and they had a backup goalie in, and he played really well, and made some unbelievable saves. We had some, multiple grade A scoring chances that we just couldn't finish on, and I think it was kind of had one of those games where that feel where, we couldn't score for the first two periods, and then they got one and, got another, and kind of just got away from us there.
Well, for the average fan looking at the box score there too, you look at both games heading into the third period, and both of them, Lake Forest trailed by just a goal, and then it was power play goals allowed that kind of hurt you guys in the third. 2 allowed on Friday, and then 1 on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously you have to be disciplined, especially like Friday night against a team like Adrian. They have a really lethal power play, so you have to do everything you can to stay out of the box, and I don't think that we had great discipline on the weekend. I mean, a couple penalties I thought were pretty bad calls, but on the flip side, there were some penalties called against us that were definitely penalties, and you can't put yourself down, 5-on-4, and especially 5-on-3. And I think when you look at those power play goals, I don't know that we were getting, beat positionally. It was a bunch of, deflected pucks, maybe not getting, cutting down the angle and blocking shots as well as we'd like, or tying up in front. But, I think when we're looking at our PK, if we can just kind of clean up a few things with regards to block shots, I think structurally we're in good position. And, on the flip side with power play too, I mean, we had a power play goal on Friday night at Adrian, and Saturday we had a handful of chances on the power play as well. So, I think guys are doing the right things. It's just kind of, maybe needing a little bit of puck luck and, gaining some confidence on special teams.
Close out the regular season, Lake Forest, a 2-game stand with Aurora, traveling Friday night, 7 p.m. at Fox Valley, and then back home for senior night on Saturday at 7 p.m. So this is a huge series. This is going to determine whether you guys have home ice or not, a win or a tie, and either of the game could do that. Let's look at Friday first here, a building you guys went into earlier in December and had success and took down Aurora 4-0 on their home ice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a non-conference game, but to go into their rink and win 4-0, I think, should give us some confidence. But seeding's still up in the air, and obviously everything on the line for both teams, and so we expect a really good effort from Aurora. I think they've been playing, fairly well of late. So, yeah, it should be a good game. It's a team that could potentially see for 4 straight games here. So, I think for us, obviously, want to set the tone early, and let them know that if it is going to be 4 games, it's going to be 4 tough games against us.
Well, then on Saturday night, 11 seniors will be in a recognition on Saturday. That's a big class. That's probably one of your biggest class. But looking at this senior class, 3 straight years in the playoffs, and we talked about it earlier after that Adrian win. They've now beaten every team in the conference, and I don't think there was any teams before that could say. What can you say about this year's senior class?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the seniors have done a great job this year. I think, you know, in terms of their on-ice play, I think, you know, really helping the team kind of gain some momentum and, you know, have some big wins and feel good, you know, about ourselves heading into the playoffs. You know, I think prior to the season even, I think the culture that they helped to establish and helped to continue off the ice has been tremendous in terms of what they're doing in the classroom and with internships and job opportunities. And, you know, it's a really large class, so you always talk about big classes potentially having a really big impact. And I think those guys' impact has certainly been a positive one and one that'll, you know, have lasting effects here.
Well, you heard it here. Big points on the line this weekend. Friday at Aurora, 7 p.m., and then Saturday back at home at 7 p.m. Both games will be on GoForesters.com with pregame coverage starting at 6:45. This has been another episode of Inside Forester Hockey. Thanks for watching.